Did you know Daddy, Toby, is the son of Maggie Smith?
Hello and welcome to the Help We Are Nerds podcast. This is our first episode, as the title suggests.
We are nerds.
Rob,
Hello.
do you want to give us a little bit about your nerdy origins?
My nerdy origin is simple. Comics, Yu-Gi-Oh! And a lot of movies. And a sprinkle of D&D. Ethan?
Well, mine actually starts with, same as you, comics. In a more roundabout way, I got one of those Marvel pocketbooks. It was Second Genesis, X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
First introduction to the X-Men mythos of Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Storm. Obviously Wolverine didn't actually debut in Second Genesis. He debuted in an Incredible Hulk book. I can't remember the issue off the top of my head, but he wasn't actually deemed a mutant until his appearance in Second Genesis.
Yeah.
So, from there, my mum made me watch the X-Men cartoon from the 90s.
Oh, I'm so glad that's coming back.
Yeah, me too. And the Spider-Man cartoon, and
I love that one.
And the Incredible Hulk.
I love that one.
And my father got me into Transformers, with the Transformers movie.
I like the Transformers movies. They're hit and miss for me sometimes.
Yeah, and the cartoon, do you know which one I mean? Like
Yeah,
old.
it's there in the back of my mind. I got into Transformers quite late. It was more the Beast Morpher series they did.
My mum and dad, like, they were teens in the 90s, so all the 90s nostalgia stuff they loved and like kind of shoved it down mine and my older sister's throat.
No, I get it. The 90s were cool. I was a wee nipper. Thanks for making me feel old.
It's alright. You are older than me.
Thank you for that.
So, yeah, then from there, I went to our local comic book shop. You'll know what that one is.
Comics I mainly got into because I'm dyslexic and they were easier to read than books.
Yeah, the pictures kind of tell the story.
So that was fun.
And then that's where I got introduced to Magic the Gathering.
So I swerved the other way. I went Yu-Gi-Oh!
And then I got introduced through Magic the Gathering because of a crossover between the two to Dungeons and Dragons. And now I've been a DM for about 3 years. No, it was 4 at this point because I started doing it in COVID for my family.
Nice. I started after COVID. With you.
Yeah.
Something I wanted to do for a while. I knew about D&D because I have a sibling who played it. But it wasn't until you set up a group here I finally gave it a go and...
Are you obsessed?
Yeah, I'm so obsessed. It's so fun making characters.
Is especially for me personally the backstory, writing the story of where they came from. Obviously, making sure that it's not too OP because you don't want to get to your DM's table and then be like,
"You can't have that. You can't have that stuff, Robert."
That backstory that you've created, mate. That's a level 20 character. We're level 1.
Anybody who wants to get into it, turns out the Staff of Woodlands is awesome and DMs don't like.
I took a feat in the campaign that you're talking about called Keen Mind. For the D&D aficionados, you'll know that one. You can't really forget anything, and you always know what time of day it is and where north is.
It is very useful for the group we're in.
Our DM is a little bit mean. If we forget anything, he'll make us roll history checks because we've all got dyslexia to a degree, so no one can really take their own notes.
No.
So I took that feat because now it's up to the DM to remember it because I can't forget it. My character physically can't forget it. I can, me, Ethan, but my character Balthazar can't.
And thanks to my lovely staff, I can pass through a cave undetected.
And that was badass. I can't believe you did that.
I can't.
He walked straight through an entire battle map. Straight through. We got an entire scape of this battle map that we weren't supposed to see yet because he passed without a trace and gave himself a +10. He's also one of the stealthiest people in our party.
Yeah, that was fun. Annoying the DM. Now I've got a cool feat out of it. I can now just hide behind things very easily.
Oh yeah, you got Skulker.
Yeah, I'm a skulker now. It's kind of cool. Which is kind of fun with my lovely psychic blades.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I can see why our friend in our other DM group likes psychic blades. They are bloody awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they are. They are pretty cool. Leave no trace.
Yeah. So my character Ash Storm, Earth, Genasi. Fun character, love him. Very family oriented. Likes annoying people in our campaign at the minute.
Yeah, both of our characters have secret backstories that.
Which is really fun because they don't know everything.
Nope.
Which is very fun for us.
I came up with this backstory. I'd been playing a cleric for a while, Tempest cleric, and our DM kept putting us through like horrific stuff. Last Easter, for example, my cleric character had to put an NPC out of their misery because the bad guys had nailed them to a cross.
Oh, lovely. I'm so sorry I missed that.
He swears he forgot it was Easter. Me and my older sister don't believe him.
I'm not a religious type, and even I don't believe him.
So, there's that. So yeah, a bunch of trauma. So my character retired with PTSD, went back to the church for some solace. But
My character's slightly offended because he left about the same time my character came in.
yeah, he did. And then I started off with this new character who's been given a mission that, for not spoiling it for Rob's sake, I won't go into, and has a mysterious backstory.
My character is slightly different. He is family orientated. He wants to get money for family. And has been given a mission, funnily enough, where he can try and get as much money as possible for them. Plus annoy people along the way.
Did you just build Finn?
No, why is he family orientated?
It's kind of part of his backstory.
I didn't know that.
That's funny.
No, I built this guy because the rest of mine haven't been family orientated.
Yeah, the other characters he's built, one was a widow because of his house was burnt down, and another one was a pirate that
Fire Genasi.
that liked to set boats on fire and ended up becoming a prince after accidentally getting a princess impregnated.
For the audience and mainly D&D people out there, yeah, I know Fire Genasi Pirate doesn't sound good. This was my first time making a character. I generally picked things I liked, which was fire and pirates. So yeah, that started really well. It made a very fun backstory of being kicked off pirate ships because you kept accidentally burning them, but yeah, don't pick Fire Genasi Pirate.
Yeah, it was a bit weird, but it was a fun character to play, and because of other party members in the group, me and you ended up having to roleplay a romance scene.
Which was not fun. I hated it. That's why now, if I do it, I slip it in right at the end so we can't do it.
We bowed to peer pressure. One of the people screaming at us to do it was my own mother.
Yes.
If you check out our website, you'll find out that she's the reason we're doing this podcast.
Yeah, she talked you into it, and I'm nice enough to go on then, I'll do it.
So, little shameless plug for the website there.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so that was kind of where we started and how we got into D&D and all that stuff.
And nerdy stuff, and we just thought we'd talk about it, why not?
Yeah, so one of those nerdy things that we both enjoy is Percy Jackson, which
Oh, God,
obviously just got a adaptation on Disney Plus.
And the main question out there is movie or series?
Series.
Series, yes, series.
Who the hell likes the movie? Like, sorry
Hey.
if you do like the movie, you're entitled to your opinion. Like, that's fine, but
I like Annabeth in the movie.
no, come on. And I like the poker face scene. I'm sorry, that is the better Lois Casino scene.
Yes.
The TV series did not live up to that.
No, it didn't.
That was way better.
Percy Jackson resonated for me, being, like I said, dyslexic.
Mm.
I just love the idea that maybe I'm not dyslexic, I'm actually a demigod. Who doesn't want to believe that they're a demigod?
Yeah, I'm a wheelchair user myself, so seeing that wheelchair users tend to be masqueraded centaurs was really fun.
Yeah.
I've also always been a Greek mythology nerd.
I'm not as much. I like to look it up. I'm more the Viking way.
Oh, you'll probably like Magnus Chase more than Percy.
Yeah, I've started reading Magnus Chase. They are in awesome.
Like that goes into Norse mythology.
Third one, isn't there? In Egyptian.
Yeah. So for those of you that are new to the Percy Jackson universe through the TV series, there's actually multiple different pantheons that exist simultaneously. You have the Greek one from Percy Jackson, which you will be introduced to in the show, but it's canon that the Egyptian pantheon exists, the Norse pantheon exists, and to be honest, we're not sure on the others, but it's implied the Christian one might also exist.
That'd be interesting to see where they go with it.
Into the series.
For what it was, I enjoyed it. There was bits I didn't like as you said, the casino scene.
Yeah, I think they kind of blew their god load, so
Yeah.
to speak, as well. Like, I get we had to meet, obviously, Echidna, technically a god, goddess. We had to meet Poseidon, we had to meet Zeus, and we had to meet Ares. Those gods and / goddesses are mentioned in the first book.
Yeah.
But Hermes, it doesn't show up in person until the second book, and we definitely don't meet Hephaestus yet.
Which one was the fastest? The one in
The guy that took a break from acting because he had a stroke.
Yes, that's the one. He was in Psych, the series. He was
Yeah,
fabulous in it.
we can actually look that up. Just so that we're being honest with people.
I liked with Hermes. It's more like I like the actor because I love Lin-Manuel.
I know he's a bit of a dark horse at the moment. Some people are linned out again.
True, but I like him. I love the diverted slightly Hamilton. You've got he obviously does the music for like Moana.
Yeah. He's I actually like his vocals in the Moana thing. I didn't realise when I first watched Moana that was...
Yeah, he wrote all the music for it.
Oh, I knew he wrote the music, but in I think it's the song Away Away,
Yeah, that's him.
I didn't realise that the chorus bit that was sang by not a main cast member was actually Lin-Manuel Miranda.
He's written many musicals. He's does a lot of work for musicals they're trying to update. Can't you find him?
I've got on the cast, he's not mentioned unless he's Toby Stevens, which I don't think he is.
No, that's Poseidon.
Exactly.
Give me a sec, I'll find it. What did you, while I look for it, what did you not like or like about it?
Like I was saying, I think they use too many gods to begin with. It's not that, like, I'm big on, holding things off, but I just think that, like, spacing them out a bit would have been a bit more fun and built anticipation for, ooh, who's that god going to be? Timothy Ogmundson, or something like that. I'm not very good at pronunciation, as we both said we're dyslexic, so sorry for...
He's mostly known for the show Psych, if you've seen that.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, also, I think it was very fast-paced.
It was. I think they needed a couple more episodes.
I understand it in the first episode, to a degree, because in the first episode I'm seeing it as we're looking through the eyes of a kid with ADHD. Like, so of course everything happens a lot faster than we're used to because people with ADHD process things, well, tend to process things a lot faster.
Yeah, I also wasn't keen on the beginning. Like, I liked the scene in the movie in the museum, and then the lady attacks him in an off room.
Yeah, it was a bit the fights were a bit too quick for me. I would have liked a little bit of a drawn out fight, especially the final fight. For those of you that haven't seen the show, spoilers. With Ares.
Yeah, played by Edge, the wrestler, which
is awesome.
He's a very good wrestler and a very good actor.
So, in the book, that's one of the best scenes. Like, the police get involved.
It feels like they cut it down.
There's guns, there's explosions. The Furies, not Harpies, are watching from the sidelines. Percy actually holds his own with his sword.
It feels like they cut it down a lot.
Yeah, he does end up summoning in Tidal Wave to kick his ass, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a while since I read the Lightning Thief. But, there's actually a drawn-out fight to begin with. Beyond that, I think it was a good adaptation. I don't expect it to be one-to-one. For those of you that did expect it to be one-to-one, I understand why you're disappointed. But I think that adaptation needs to be
never
changed version, not a copy and paste.
I find it never works to do a straight-up adaptation.
The mediums are different. You can tell a slower paced story and a wider story in a book.
Oh god, yeah, you can imagine it shit.
But on the screen, everything needs to move fluid and be,
Possible.
Digestible, because most people tend to watch TV at the end of the day. They come home from work, bang it on, watch TV. So you want it to be digestible and something people can remember without being bombarded by information. That was one thing I did think they did a little bit too much of, though. Exposition dumps.
Yeah, I think you've also got to remember, you can imaginate stuff in your head a lot in a book. Doesn't mean it's plausible to actually be able to film.
Yeah.
Physically.
Yeah, like the St. Louis Arch.
Yeah.
When Rick Riordan wrote the book, he thought the arch overwent the lake, but it doesn't. No. It's actually quite far away from the lakes. So, of course, they had to change it so Poseidon caught his son.
Which kind of worked.
And also makes it very sweet, because his dad came to his rescue after Annabeth's mom tried to kill them.
Yeah.
They kind of made Athena a bit of an arse in the show so far.
They did. I did like the girl who played Athena. Annabeth, sorry. She was...
That's okay. Yeah, the girl that plays Annabeth is spot on.
Yeah.
I know some of the backlash was of a negative variety that we won't get into, because I don't think that has any bearing on the show whatsoever.
To be honest, for me, it's just whoever's best for the role.
I think she fit the role. I wish they'd give Percy more of the sass and Annabeth more of the analytical mind rather than the other way around. But
yeah.
Because I think they delved too much into each other's mannerisms. But that's not the fault of the actresses, or the actor, that's the fault of the studio and the director.
And whatever they had in the script.
Yeah. So
looking forward to season 2.
Yeah, me too. I was really glad when they announced that they were going to do a season 2.
Yeah.
Because I was a bit worried with the negative criticisms online that Disney might back out and be like, yeah, this is not a safe bet. Especially after what happened with the movies. But I think the passionate response from...
kind of overwhelmed everything.
Overwhelmed the toxic.
And of course, we have to give a quick heads up and love to... Lance Reddick.
You'll always be our Zeus, mate.
Yeah. Only in a couple of scenes. Love doing everything you've been in.
That was amazing, though. He may have only been in a couple of scenes, but the way that he said boy in that episode...
He made me...
It shook me.
Yeah, he scared me.
And like when Poseidon had to catch the lightning bolt, I was like, yeah, Percy was about to die in like 2 seconds flat if Daddy hadn't come to save him.
Did you know Daddy, Toby, is the son of Maggie Smith?
You told me. I had no idea when I watched the episode though.
Poseidon's mother is a witch.
Just gonna point out, guys, does that mean we can get a Harry Potter Percy Jackson crossover? Because if so, I would love that.
Same. Go back to Lars for a minute. Obviously, he's not going to be in season 2.
Yeah.
Sadly, because Wesley's soul.
God rest his soul, but at least they did a nice tribute at the end of the
Nice
episode.
tribute. Obviously, it does mean he's Zeus. They're going to have to replace it.
Of course, especially in the next book. Again, spoilers for those of you that have just watched the show and not read the books. Obviously, Zeus's daughter shows back up in the next
So the question
season.
is, who?
There's so many in there. I know. See, for me, in my head, he played Kratos in the God of War games. I would love Christopher Judge to take
like that
over
name.
as Zeus.
I like the name. The name I have that comes to mind, somebody who could bring out that passion Lars did, is probably Idris Elba.
Yeah, that'd be cool. He's worked with Disney before through Marvel, obviously. He's been
That's
hounded
the
out.
name that comes to mind.
I think some people might not be thinking, but I think keeping it with a black actor would be really cool. I like the fact that the gods aren't all the same. The gods, of course,
They can be whatever
they
they
can be
want.
whatever they want. Most of them, especially Zeus, are shapeshifters. So they can take whatever form they want to. And seeing as though we're on casting, can we just give a shout out to the amazing cast for Dionysus?
Yes.
Like, I couldn't imagine anyone else playing him now.
That man is amazing.
It's crazy as hell.
He plays idiot extremely well.
Yep.
I loved him in this. I loved him in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, you mean Brooklyn Nine-Nine is amazing.
Anything he's in, he's just fabulous. Idiot.
He plays idiot super, super well.
Yeah, I think that's the role I'd probably end up having to take.
But yeah, so, seeing as though we're on an adaptation kick, shall we talk about the latest adaptation that came out? I think it's a week ago?
The Last Airbender.
Avatar, The Last Airbender, Netflix edition.
Or as I just call it, Avatar, because it's better than the blue people.
I'm not sure if this is just a rumour or anything, but I have read that the actor that played Zhao in the live-action Avatar for Netflix thought he was auditioning for Avatar, as in the blue people.
That would
James
not shock
Cameron.
me at all.
And he thought he was going to be blue, so he was confused.
It doesn't shock me. I have not watched the anime in a while.
Me either. It's been a while since I watched the anime. However, we have to. I think we both agree that it's one of the best cartoons to exist.
It's up there for me.
I don't think it's the best. I know some people do think it's the best story of all time, but
It's not for me. My favourite anime is One Piece,
yeah, I know
which
that.
had a live action last year.
Which was still good.
It was amazing.
But I do think that it is a good cartoon, a good anime.
Yeah.
If you want to call it a cartoon, call it a cartoon. If you want to call it an anime, call it an anime. It is technically, I think it is technically down as an anime, but it was produced in America. So.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. Anime and
Yeah.
the live action. There's bits I liked in the live action. There's bits I didn't like in the live action.
So let's get into that. What did you like?
I know in the cave scene originally it wasn't brother sister. I liked the idea of brother and sister finding the fact they do love each other to get out. I find that was amazing.
It gave me Frozen vibes.
Yes.
Like, you expect it to be boyfriend-girlfriend or girlfriend-girlfriend or boyfriend-boyfriend.
But it doesn't have to be.
And you get brother-sister or sister-sister in the case of Frozen love, which obviously is a purer form of love.
Yeah.
Because...
I loved that scene. By the way, I'm going to get names mixed up. I do it all the time, dyslexia.
Yeah.
Zuko, the kid, the bad kid.
Prince Zuko, yeah.
Prince Zuko. His
Yeah.
casting, for me, spot on.
It was phenomenal. He was a good Zuko.
For what I've heard he did with his hair, in reality, God, he's got balls. He generally had to shave all but a patch at the back of his head, which they then attached
The top knot too.
the top knot to, and he had to live with that only patch on his head for about 6 months.
Wow. So
Yes.
that is amazing.
While he roomed with the kid who played Zuko, who apparently took the piss. Zuko, not Zuko.
Sokka.
Sokka, sorry.
Zuko roomed with Sokka, just to be more precise. But yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're going to grow into the characters. I think Katara was a little short.
I think that was more the actress being nervous.
Yeah, I think so too. That's why I was saying that. I think
Yeah.
they're going to grow into it. I think she was just a little bit short of the mark. I think she wasn't angry enough.
No, I think for her, she, like I said, she was nervous. This is kind of a big thing to take on.
Yeah. In my head, Katara needs to be an angrier character. Some people might disagree. It seems like a core theme throughout her character, which does get resolved in season 3 of the cartoon, of her holding on to the anger she feels for the man that murdered her mother, and that comes through at somewhat inappropriate times, somewhat appropriate times, depending on the situation. Like, she's constantly yelling at Aang and Sokka, becoming more of a motherly figure.
To be fair, sometimes them boys need it.
They do, which is why I'm saying sometimes it's inappropriate, sometimes it's appropriate.
What
And I think Aang needs to be a little bit more childish. I get, like we were discussing before we came on to film, that we think this season was about him coming to terms with the fact that he is the Avatar.
Yeah.
So I get what they were going for, and obviously there has been buzz about them wanting a more Game of Thrones style story.
Plus,
for
next
it.
season, you kind of her trying to teach him the water stuff.
Yeah, but I think that he does need to be a little bit more childish in some areas.
He does.
He is only 12, and he doesn't seem it at the moment.
No. God rest that actor solo. He had to shave his head every day.
I know, just to make sure that he was still bald.
Yeah, just so they could stick on the tattoo.
Which, let's just get that out of the way, that is phenomenal makeup.
It is. I like the, if you look at the tattoo, the drawings inside.
The wavy lines, which
I was never a fan of the movie.
the way that the movie did the tattoo was good, though.
Yeah, I liked the idea of that.
I also like the fact that in the cartoon there is no markings on the staff. Like,
No, it's not, is there?
but in the live action you have the Airbender symbol on his
Yeah.
staff, which I like.
I like that.
I think it like denotes that like this is an Airbender cultural artifact. It's
Yeah.
not something that most people would be familiar with,
Big-
especially when the series is set, which is 100 years after the genocide of the Airbender.
I like the fact they added that in at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to see that and see how badass Monk Kyatso was.
Yes.
He took on the Fire Lord.
Go for him. Now let's... The Fire King.
The Fire Lord, yeah.
Yeah, the guy from Lost.
Mm.
And Hawaii Five-0.
Yes.
I've never wanted to call a guy daddy before. Until that man. In this show. Oh my God. I loved him in Hawaii Five-0. I always wanted to give him a hug. Now I just wanted to slap the shit out of him.
I think he did a very good job, especially seeing as the last Fire Lord is voiced by Mark Hamill in the cartoon.
I did not know that. That's amazing.
Can you not hear the Joker as he's talking?
Now you mention it, yeah.
So, I think that the guy, for me at least, because Mark Hamill's one of my favourite actors,
Same.
had a massive amount of shoes to fill, and I think he definitely succeeded in that.
I believe, if I remember rightly, I don't know if it's true, but his kids talked him into accepting. Because they were a fan of the show.
And we got an age-appropriate Azula.
Yes.
I like that. She feels more like an angsty teen at the moment, which she should. Like, she does. And obviously, for those of you that haven't seen the cartoon, switch off or
That
spoiler
is the one with the
warning.
blue flames, right?
But yeah, she will eventually. When we first meet her in the cartoon, it's not till season 2, and she has blue flames, and she's a proliferant lightning bender.
So it is lightning.
They learn how to throw lightning as well. Which, because of that, is why Zuko learns to redirect lightning, because he's like, if I have to go up against my sister.
Yeah.
But with that, though, with Azula, I like the way they're going with it, because obviously, for those of you that have seen the show, you'll know by season 3 she mentally regresses and has a mental breakdown. Hallucinating her mother and things like that, getting rid of all of her servants, her friends, anyone that could help her, she banishes them all because she becomes extremely paranoid.
To be fair, with her father, do you blame her?
No, but what I'm liking what they're doing is they're using Zuko as Ozai is toying with both Zuko
Yeah,
and
I did
Azula,
like that.
pinning them against each other. So now when they have their confrontation in season 2, that's going to feel a lot better because they've been manipulated into seeing each other as the adversary.
Yes.
And then when we get to season 3 and, Zuko betrays the Fire Lord, spoiler alert, and joins Team Avatar.
See, I can feel that coming already.
It's because they know where they're going
Yeah.
this time. So I am with that, him betraying the Fire Lord and joining Team Avatar and becoming Aang's firebending teacher and all that stuff. I can see Ozai then using Azula, using that on Azula, and that will be the catalyst that breaks her back.
Yes.
Because I do feel like the mental health that was a little rushed in the cartoon. It's the one gripe I've had with the cartoon. Everything is perfectly laid out. You can see story beats coming in the cartoon, especially when you watch it for the second time.
Yes.
But with Azula, her friends betray her, and she seems normal when you first see her again in the last the last episode, and it's over the course of 4 episodes that her brain
It breaks.
she breaks. I think what Netflix are going to do, and I don't want to put words in Netflix's mouth, but what I feel like they're going to do is they're going to stretch that out so we see her start to break a lot sooner.
Yes. Just in small ways.
Just in small ways. Maybe she's looking in the mirror and we catch a glimpse of someone in the mirror. That could be a nod to the fact that she's starting to hallucinate her mother.
Staying with fires for a bit. Anybody else wanted to give Uncle a big hug through the whole series?
Oh, definitely. Especially when they started playing Leaves from the Vine.
Yes.
Did anyone else start singing it?
Oh yeah, I was singing it. But yeah,
Uncle Iroh was my favourite character in the original.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, he's one of mine. And the actor they picked did it perfectly. God, I wanted to give that man a hug. I think the biggest thing people moaned about was the fact that Sokka wasn't as sexist as he's in the anime.
He doesn't need to be.
He doesn't. I'm glad they took a good chunk of that out.
What they kept in, what they did about him being I have to be a warrior and all that stuff.
It's more, I need to protect you.
I need to prove myself to my father, giving him daddy issues, which Sokka certainly does have daddy issues. It's actually quite funny because every character in Avatar has parental issues except Aang because he doesn't have any parents.
Yeah. I definitely enjoyed the series.
Me too.
Did I enjoy it as much as the One Piece live action? No.
See, I think that Avatar, the live action one, had a similar problem to Percy Jackson. He tried to do it too quickly because they didn't give it enough episodes. I think they should have spaced it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And they used too many avatars.
Yes.
I get wanting to show off some of the most well-known ones, but the one that really needed to be in there for the first season is Roku.
Yeah.
That's all we really needed. Kyoshi was a nice add-on, but did we really need Kuruk?
No, we didn't.
So, We didn't need to add Kuruk in here. It was nice. It was like, oh, they're doing this a little different. We're not seeing the spirit of the moon and the ocean and getting that information there. But instead we're seeing a past avatar, which was fun, but
No, it
you'd
wasn't
already
really-
done it twice.
Yeah, it wasn't really needed again.
We'd already spoken to Roku and Kiyoshi and got two sides of the same coin. We didn't need a third one. That was just my opinion.
What else did I learn? My brain is literally gone to crap. Overall, I'm looking forward to seeing if they do a season 2.
Yeah, me too. And obviously with the special effects and everything, it's probably going to be about 2 years away. But for those of you that are complaining there was no water bending in this season, maybe they're saving that for a time skip, and in the first episode we will see a waterbend in season 2. That is something I would do personally. Like that Kataro's been training him in between.
I'd have him start off by sort of knowing it,
Mm.
but have the season Katawa teaching him.
Yeah, so I would have a move where, you know, they're doing the push and the pull,
Yeah.
and that's how you open up season 2. That's what I would do, because that's the basic waterbending technique.
My other half said, are they going to do like Avatar, so he already knows the airbending stuff? Like season 1, water season 2, earth season 3, fire season 4.
They might do that.
Maybe a good way around it.
Obviously,
I hope they don't.
Not specifically gave us when Sozin's comet will be coming in this show,
No.
and they've done that on purpose because they can't account for age or anything like that. With animation, you could keep Aang 12 years
Yes.
old. And,
Sadly, Gordon, I believe his name is, can't stay 12.
and he's not going to stay the same height either.
No.
So you need to be able to account for that. So that is why they've took that out, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I don't work for Netflix, but that is my opinion of it anyway.
For I know of film production, that is probably why. In live action, like you said, you can't. Age is a pain in the bum.
Obviously, there are shows that we've all watched as kids where a 20-year-old is playing a 14-year-old, and you can't really tell.
Yes, that is true.
Ariana Grande, for example, in Victorious.
Yes.
She still looked about 16 at the end of that
She
show.
still looks about 16 now.
Exactly. Paul Rudd, for God's sake, he still looks like he's in his 20s.
Yes.
In fact, I think he just looks like he's just broke 30 and he's like nearly 50.
Would you believe Robert Downey Jr. is about 50?
No, I wouldn't. Leonardo DiCaprio.
I don't even know how old he is.
He doesn't look as old as he actually
No.
is. He's in his 50s.
Well, yeah, he's got to be. I'm in my 30s.
Exactly. So, you know, it is doable, but not to an extent of we've got this entire ensemble as kids. They're not all going to stay looking young enough to play kids.
The one I go to when it comes to age things is Spider-Man. Because, yes, Tobey Maguire is fabulous.
And he looked okay in the first one.
He looked about 30, playing a school kid.
He did. He looked okay in the first one, I think. He
For me-
looked a bit old, but he looked okay in the first one.
For me, it was passable. Early 2000, when it was made. I accepted it then. But as I've grown and got older and got into films myself.
The one in Spider-Man that always gets me, you know, like what you were saying,
Yeah.
is Flash. Like,
Oh, Joe. Something. I can never pronounce his
Joe
name.
Manganiello?
That's the one.
Yeah, Joe Manganiello.
He did
But
not look like a kid.
Toby, I was like, okay, maybe
With a squint.
maybe if he got held back, he could be a 21-year-old high school kid. But Joe Manganiello,
Did not look it.
he looked like he was about 30.
Yeah, he did.
Beating up a high school kid.
Well, Kirsten Dunst, I'd give her a nice 18.
She looked like she could be in her final year at school.
While with Andrew Garfield, yes, he was also not a kid. But he pulled it off. He looked.
Like a kid.
Yeah. And of course, Tom Holland.
Technically wasn't the age he was playing, but still.
I don't believe he's older than 12.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet him, though.
Me too. But before we move on, I think it's time to wrap it up. So, what did you think of our first episode, Rob?
I enjoyed it. I hope people like it.
Me too.
Please don't be too mean in the comments.
Yeah, and tell us what got you into the Nerdverse.
Yes.
Like, what brought you to this podcast?
Last thought. Tell us who you would like to play Zeus.
Yeah. And please, if you do like it, like and share and follow us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, and we have a Facebook page. So, this is Ethan
Rob.
signing off.